Almighty Lord, do not abandon Mom. I beg you, make it so that we have money for her treatment. Let her regain her good eyesight. Let her enjoy the flowers she loves so much and be able to work and sometimes even draw. Do not plunge her into darkness. Help us. I know you can do anything in this world. Rita crossed herself and kissed the small icon standing on her bedside table. The girl climbed into bed and almost immediately fell asleep. She had an incredible dream. She stood in white clothing, barefoot on a hill somewhere, singing. Her voice sounded pure and loud, and there were people near the hill, many people. They all clapped and threw flowers and soft toys at her. Rita's heart sang too, and a sweet warmth spread through her body, like thick jelly filling her entire being. Suddenly the girl saw her mom. She stood far from the hill, waving happily to her daughter. She saw her very well. Looking into her mother's eyes, Rita saw them shining with happiness. And then young Rita sang even louder, even clearer. Her voice soared above the earth, and then suddenly became mixed with some chirping. Alarm clock. Time to get up and get ready for school. Rita stretched. There was still a pleasant warmth in her body, like in that wonderful dream. I will sing in the square and earn money for Mom's treatment, Rita firmly decided, getting out from under the covers. At school, Rita couldn't concentrate. She was not thinking about lessons at all, but about how she would go to the square by the shopping center today and sing the most touching songs so that passers-by would shed tears. Then they would quickly fill her metal box from under the cookies, in which she had been keeping various girly things since childhood. Rita Torres. What are you thinking about today? Senora Diaz, the Spanish teacher, asked sternly. I'm sorry, the girl said, rising from her seat and lowering her eyes. My head has been hurting since this morning. Maybe you should see a doctor? No, everything's fine. Rita slumped back into her chair and took a pen in her hand, ready to write down what the teacher dictated. Rita returned home. Mom was sitting in the kitchen, peeling vegetables. Hi, Mommy. The girl kissed her mother on the cheek. Hello, my sunshine. How was school? Everything's fine, Mom. Let me help you with the vegetables. How are your eyes today? Baby, I'm sorry for causing you so much trouble. Milena said sadly. What will happen to us when I go completely blind? Don't even think about it. You won't go blind. We'll have money for your treatment soon, and you'll see this world again in all its colors and details. I promise you. Mother just smiled. What a glorious daughter heaven had given her. What could Milena see in detail? Their meager life? She hated herself for how everything turned out in her life. She couldn't give her daughter anything. She didn't dare move to the capital, not even to a bigger city. She spent many years working at the local library. And now she had to quit altogether. Her eyesight worsened every day. Expensive treatment was needed. But where to find this money? The two of them in the whole wide world could only rely on themselves and each other. Milena blamed herself for becoming a burden to Rita, and she hadn't even turned 16 yet. She needed to live and be happy. But what could a girl be happy about when she has a blind mother on her hands? Milena constantly thought about what she could do, how to earn at least some crumbs to survive, but so far nothing had come to her mind. In the evening, Rita put on her favorite sundress and took a cookie box with her. It was a gift from a kind donor named Rosa, whom her mother had cared for several years. Thanks to this, they now had a roof over their heads, their own little apartment, more resembling a shack. But it was a home, their home. Before that, Milena and little Rita had constantly moved from one rented room to another. There was no opportunity to afford better accommodation. There weren't many people in the square. It was a weekday, and it had already rained several times. Rita stood near the shopping center, placed the box at her feet, and froze. It was scary to sing like this, in plain view of everyone. But her mom urgently needed treatment. There was no time to waste. And Rita started to sing, softly at first, then louder and more confidently. Rita stopped noticing what was happening around her. It was always like this when the girl sang, especially if the song resonated in her soul and heart, and there were many such songs. Onlookers began to approach. They enjoyed listening to the young beauty sing, but no one rushed to drop even a single coin into the box. Rita sang only 3 songs. And then suddenly, a security guard from the shopping center approached. "What's this gathering here?" he asked sternly. "And you, young talent, better go home, or I'll report you to your parents." "I'm not doing anything wrong," Rita replied quietly. "I just really need money." "Ask your father if you need a new lipstick," the guard sneered, staring at her with his piggy eyes. "Go on, or you'll deal with the police." The crowd dispersed. Rita picked up her empty box and trudged home. But something stopped her. The girl turned towards the river. There was a platform right on the shore where young people usually gathered. It was almost empty that evening. Rita settled under a spreading tree and started singing again. Couples began to pay attention to the young singer. Someone even threw some change into the box. Girls hurried to lead their boyfriends away from this beauty with the lovely voice. Since early childhood, Rita adored singing. At first, it was children's songs from cartoons, then adult ones she heard on the radio or TV. "You have the voice of an angel," Milena would say, willing to listen to her daughter for hours. "A great future awaits you." But the future was in no hurry to come, or rather, it was coming, but somehow not great and beautiful, but gray and mundane, sometimes even hungry. That evening, Rita earned barely €1. It was pitifully little. What did she hope for? This wasn't the capital, where there were many art enthusiasts. But at least here, no one dared to chase the girl away. Rita went home through the church. She threw a few coins into the donation box. The girl crossed herself, said a quick prayer, and headed home. She decided not to tell her mother anything for now. Since then, Rita started coming to the riverbank every day. Sometimes she managed to earn something, but it seemed like she would have to walk for at least 20 years to save up for her mom's treatment. On that day, Rita realized she needed to find a job. Any job that paid. Even if it was hard. She would manage. She had to manage for the sake of her mother, so she could see, not sink into eternal darkness. "I'll sing one last time, and then I'm done," the girl murmured to herself and sang the song her mother loved to madness. The girl's voice echoed along the shore, carried by the wind. There was always good acoustics on the river. Only the last chorus remained. "I miss you. Like violets miss the rain. You were given to me by fate. So said the fortune teller. So said the fortune teller." As Rita bent down to pick up her box, she suddenly saw a man in an expensive business suit walking straight towards her. Was he going to chase her away? Well, she didn't care anymore. She wouldn't come back here anyway. Rita straightened up, ready to leave. "Wait," the stranger raised his hand. "You have the voice of an angel. It's the best I've heard. Your voice should be heard all over the world." "Thank you, sir," Rita smiled. "But I don't need that. I need something completely different." "What?" "Never mind. It's my problem, and I doubt I can solve it," the girl sighed sadly. "You know, sometimes it's better not to keep it to yourself, but to let it out. Who knows, maybe I can help you with something. And you can definitely help me." "Me?" Rita was surprised. "Yes, you. If you agree to sing in my bar. Though, you're still a young girl," he scratched his chin thoughtfully. "Are you willing to hire me?" Rita almost choked with joy. "Then I can save up for treatment." "What treatment? Are you sick?" "No, not me, my mother. She's losing her sight rapidly, and the treatment costs a lot of money. I told you, it's better not to keep it to yourself. Do you know, young talent, that my uncle is a great microsurgeon working in the capital?" "Well, that's great, of course, but it doesn't change anything. Where am I supposed to find the money for this treatment? Tell me, can you sing different songs?" Not just this wonderful lyrical